So one of the questions I get asked most in my career is, Marie, how do you get it all done? I mean, you've been doing this for like over 20 years. You seem pretty normal and happy. Well, maybe not that normal, but kind of happy. You're very consistent. What is your secret to getting it all done? And I say, you want to know my secret? Here's my secret to getting it all done. I don't. I learned a very long time ago that trying to do it all was not only setting me up to fail, but it was severely limiting the impact and the income that I was capable of making. Here's how I discovered this. So back in 2011, this beautiful little coaching business that I had wanted to succeed so badly, that I had worked so hard for over a decade, was finally starting to thrive beyond anything that I could have imagined. I had this beautiful pool of one-on-one clients. We had this high-end adventure mastermind program, so much fun. I was creating and publishing brand new video content every week for my new show at the time, Marie TV. I was also running this annual business conference in New York City and creating and launching and running multiple online programs. So it was a super wild and busy time. But here was the frustrating part. I knew in my bones that I had so much more untapped potential that wasn't being realized. My drive, my creativity was off the charts. And I had this vision to make a much bigger impact in the world, but I could feel that the path I was on wasn't going to get me there. Can anyone relate? So my bandwidth was at full capacity. There was literally no more hours in the day. And I could feel that being stretched to the max, not the Ed Milet max out, right, but like stretched to the max. It was starting to kill the joy that I had for my work. And then here was the trickiest part. Everything I was doing in my business from a financial perspective was actually working. So for context, I had started my business deep in debt. And for years, just about 10 of them, I was barely scraping by. So now here I was, finally making money, finally making a difference, and I had all these people depending on me. I remember lying in bed at night, so stressed out. I felt like such a loser. Marie, who are you kidding? What if you're not meant to be an entrepreneur at all? I mean, maybe you're a pretty okay life coach, but as a CEO, damn girl, you suck. And after quite a bit of time feeling very inadequate, feeling like a fraud, beating myself up, I finally got my head out of my butt. And I said to my team, I was like, okay, look, my mission is to make a positive difference on as many people's lives as I possibly can while I'm still on planet Earth. And I also want this business to be joyful and profitable and scalable. But right now, I am maxed out. I have more ideas than I have time to execute on them, and I just don't know what to do. So we sat down and we mapped out every single one of the core activities that I was doing to run the business. And one by one, we analyzed and audited everything. So first, we wrote down how much time each activity was taking me every day, every week, every month, and every year. Then we looked at, well, what were the costs associated with each of those activities, and then how much money was really coming in, right? So we had a very clear idea in terms of profit margin. But we didn't stop there. We took one more step, and I would beg to say one more time genius step. So in addition to the hard data about time and money, we also evaluated every single activity in terms of joy and energy. In other words, what was the mental, emotional, psychological cost of every one of those activities? Which ones were bringing me joy, and which ones were making me feel dread? Then we also looked at every single thing in terms of scale and impact. So which revenue sources had the potential to just impact so many lives, which were scalable and which were not? Once we had all that information down on paper, a few things became crystal clear. First up, there were 2 revenue sources that were profitable, successful, popular, and guess what? They had to go. They were huge drains in terms of my energy, and they were very heavy lifts on my team. In addition to that, there was a cap on them in terms of scale and impact. We also saw 2 other huge opportunity zones, tremendous potential for joy and for impact and for profit if we had the time and the bandwidth to invest in them. So, bottom line, I needed to put into practice 3 simple words that would go on to change the entire trajectory of my career, my business, and my life. I still use these 3 words to this day. Are you ready for them? I want you to write them down. Simplify to amplify. One more time. Simplify to amplify. What does that mean? Simplify to amplify means that you deliberately focus on fewer things, but you execute them on a way higher level. You see, in a culture that's constantly pushing us, pressuring us to do more, to be more, to have more, to make things more complex, I chose to flip that script. I was like, I'm not going for the crazy. I'm gonna do less, and I'm gonna do it better than anyone in the world. And that's what I did. I proactively chose to walk away from over $1 million in annual revenue. Now, let's be real. As an entrepreneur, was that scary? Oh my God, I was terrified. At that particular stage in my business, $1 million coming from the background that I come from, that was more money than I'd ever thought I'd see in my whole damn life. So no, that decision was not easy and it was not comfortable. And my peers at that time thought I was nuts. I remember one saying to me, like, Marie, what are you doing? This is crazy. These 2 offerings, like, people are loving them. They're bringing in so much money. You're just getting traction. Why are you doing this? My heart and my intuition, my inner wisdom knew what was up. It knew that this simplify to amplify path was the way for me to get to that joyful and impactful and profitable life I desired. Now, like me, maybe there's some things in your life right now that you're ready to sunset. Maybe there's some things for you that you might have outgrown. Now look, I get it. It's scary. And it's even scarier if the things you're considering walk away from are actually working. When there's nothing wrong, when they're making you money, when they're good enough. But when your heart, when your soul is telling you that you are meant for more, when you know there's another possibility for you if you only make the space, you have to have the courage to step back, to reassess and recreate your own success on a much higher level. So fast forward in my story, I did it. I walked away from all those revenue streams. And you want to know what happened? My joy, my company's impact, and our profits friggin' exploded. I'm serious. It was like 10x growth, like a rocket ship, all from sitting down and from calculating the cost of time stress in my life, from auditing and analyzing every single thing I was doing with my time. It gave me the clarity to wake up every single day to know exactly what to focus on and exactly what to ignore. You know, when I went through this process for myself, I created a framework, really an assessment, to help me get everything out of my head, everything out of my heart, to organize it and get clear, to really understand what time stress was costing me. I have to tell you, and I cannot underscore this enough, the clarity that I got from that exercise has helped me create results that are so far beyond anything I could imagine. The point you need to hear is this. In order to become the time genius that you are meant to be, you have to prioritize what matters most at this stage and season of your life. And in order to prioritize what matters most, you need to decide what matters most. Now, for me, at that particular point in my life, joy, impact, profit. For you, right now, who knows? It might be something different. Maybe it's your health. Maybe it's your marriage. Maybe it's your mission. For other of you, it might be starting an entirely new business or changing careers or actually spending more time with the people that you love while you still have that one more chance. I don't know what it is for you, but I do know this. You have got to have the courage to ask yourself those questions, and you have to find the courage to listen to the answer that arises. Not the answer from your heart, not the answer from social media, not the answer from society. The answer from your soul. Because here's something that I know about ambitious, driven people like us. We can continue to push and push and push. We can continue to run the same pattern over and over and over again. And we can even make it look sexy. We can make it look glamorous to the outside world. But inside, we know the truth. We know that we don't want that old version of success anymore. And so many of you are here today because there's something that you don't want anymore. There's something that you want to change. And look, so many aspects of your business and your life, I'm sure, are amazing. That's true. And there's still something that you want to change. And I can tell you this. Thousands of people are escaping time stress, and they're finding profound transformation from following this simple time genius formula. They are healing themselves from chronic burnout. They are doubling and tripling their creative output in a fraction of the time. And they are finally experiencing that joy and that fulfillment and that freedom that they got into the game for in the first place.
Hey, are you feeling overwhelmed, exhausted, or just drowning in busy work and still not making the money you deserve? In this brand new training, you're going to learn 3 super common mistakes that can kill your productivity and tank your profits, and how to stop them fast. Just go to marieforleo.com/free class or scan the QR code on your screen right now.
This could be the year that you rediscover who you really are. Outside that nonstop pressure and that exhaustion and that overwhelm that's been holding you back. This could be the year that you re-choose yourself and you redefine your own success instead of obeying the expectations and the rules of other people. This could be the year that the world gets to see you finally in all of your glory. That playful, vibrant, multi-passionate, loving, creative soul that you were born to be. I am so honored to be in this space with you and to be a loving reminder on behalf of every woman and man and child who you are going to inspire and touch based on what you do with the messages that you've heard today. For them, I say thank you. And let's go make this the year that you become a time genius. Thank you so much.
Pretty cool, right? So now you know the power of simplify to amplify. And as I mentioned in my talk, I turned that framework into this really cool free assessment that's going to help you start to understand what your time is really worth to you. It's going to help you clarify what you should focus on this year and what you should ignore. So you can go take that free assessment at timestressquiz.com. That is timestressquiz.com. I want you to go do that assessment right now. And I promise you, it only takes a few minutes, and it's going to give you so much insight on how to make the best use of your precious time and energy this year. And look, If you want to go even deeper with me and you want to learn how to master your time and your attention and your energy, I hope you're going to join us for my Time Genius training experience. You can learn more about it at jointimegenius.com. I'm going to be coaching people through that program at the end of this month. No matter what, I am so excited for all the incredible goals and projects and dreams that you are going to bring to life this year. This is going to be a good one. I can feel it in my heart. It's going to be amazing for all of us. And I'm going to be here supporting you and loving on you and cheering you on and celebrating you every step of the way. And by the way, I actually learned that 70% of you here on YouTube aren't even subscribed to the channel yet. Like, what? That's crazy pants. I need you to hit that subscribe button right now. We have got so many incredible things to share with you this year, and I do not want you to miss out on a single thing. Until next time, stay on your game and keep going for your big dreams, because the world really does need that very special gift that only you have. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you next time.
Hey, if you loved this video, you need to watch this one next. Trust me on that.